off. Welcome everybody to Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Today we're joined with Becca Godwin, and she is about to take a dive into the wings with all the sauces from Hot Ones.
Holy shit. Oh my god. I'm so scared.
You should be very scared. Alright, go ahead and take the mask off and maybe put the glasses on to keep you from touching your eyes.
Okay.
Alright, and you're gonna go from left to right, and that's the last wing.
Okay.
Alright. What's your headspace like?
I don't know whether it's an advantage or disadvantage that I didn't have time to mentally prepare.
Advantage.
Okay. Where's yours?
Right here.
Oh. Awesome.
Say hello to all our fans.
Hello.
Alright. You ready?
Oh my god. Yeah. Or did I eat it like the obviously
Like a wing.
vegan way?
Alright, so this is the classic, which turns out is actually less than this store-bought stuff. It's got good flavor though.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So now that you have extensive training in journalism with a master's in mass comm, and even wrote for renowned Atlanta Journal-Constitution, given today's climate, what are some of the reasons you think people should be getting their news from credible news sources?
Oh my god. I'm so thrown off. The most obvious reason, I would say.
Already hitting the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little like late burn.
Yeah, it's not so much for the heat on this one, but because when you get your news from a credible source, not only are you doing a service to yourself because you are most likely getting the factual information, but you're also, in the grander scheme of things, contributing to the allowance of credible news sources to continue to operate. And what I don't think people realize is that without credible news sources, no one would have any idea what's going on. I think they just take for granted that, like, you know things, you know what's happening in government, because I don't know why people take it for granted, but what's actually happening is, like, you know it because reporters are sitting in the town hall meetings, they're digging through the records, and without that, we would all be f***ed.
Do you think?
Can I say f***ed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beep. Do you think that the headline or the first sentence is more important?
The headline, because the headline is what gets the person in. Once they're in and they read the first sentence, they're probably going to read the second sentence, which isn't to say that headlines should be clickbaity or sensational, but they should just be there and important.
Okay. Moving on.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening.
These three and these three are from season 11.
Technical difficulties.
While earning your undergrad, you did an internship at the Scripps Howard Foundation in DC, during which time you did a photojournalism piece on then President Obama. Do you think that this would be as exciting as it was then as it would be today, given that our current president is generally seen as less presidential, to say the least?
Should we be eating while we talk, or this is like just a talking moment? Okay. I think it would be exciting for the wrong reasons.
Mm. Okay.
I can elaborate if you like.
Do you think that if our next president gives the press more respect, that the American public will in turn trust more news outlets?
That's a good question. I think for that one, I would need to, but I guess you're just asking for my opinion, not like what the history shows. Because my initial thought is like, in the past, how has the American public trusted presidents regardless of how the president treats the press? But, I think it couldn't hurt. I think that certainly people trust media less now than they did before they had somebody degrading them at every press conference for the whole world to see.
Moving on, number 3, Takamuka Lukapika.
Okay.
2,200. I think it's actually less than Crystal. Hold on.
Huh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mmm.
Oh, wow.
Like a sweet Thai sauce. Oh, but it's hotter.
It's creeping. Woo!
Having lived in Miami where cocktail is king, or queen, what is your favorite craft cocktail? And can you give us a step-by-step breakdown on how to mix it up?
Yes. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. My favorite cocktail, like, for never can go wrong, would be a dirty martini made with Oxley gin. But I'm gonna give the breakdown because that's pretty easy. It's pretty simple to do that one. So I'll tell you how to make a Sazerac. So, you get your bourbon, your rye bourbon, and then you put it into a shaker, and you add, the way I do it is just add a sugar cube right to that. Then you're gonna add 2 dashes of absinthe, 2 dashes of bitters, and then I think that's it. And then you stir it.
Wash your face.
Ice. Wipe my face. Wash my
Wash
face.
your
Okay.
face.
I should be doing that anyway right now, so don't touch your face, don't touch your face. So then you add some ice, stir it up, strain it into a pretty glass, and then twist a lemon peel on top. Boom, boom, bam.
Delicious.
Yes.
And we're jumping up. We're jumping up quite a bit here.
Holy moly. Alright, I feel like I'm gonna have to put my hair up.
I think now's the time. Now we're jumping now.
Yeah.
NSYNC or Backstreet?
Backstreet.
Favorite song by them?
Classic, I want it that way.
If you had to lose all your memories of growing up listening to them in order to still be able to listen to Conor Oberst, would you?
That's tough. But can you say it again? So the opposite is got to have all those memories, but I don't know who Conor Oberst is.
You're aware, but you can't listen to him.
Okay, interesting. I guess without overthinking it, I would say yes. I'll wipe the Backstreet Boys memories.
Oh, I did not see that.
Really?
Yeah, somebody who's so into memories and stuff.
Yeah, nostalgia can only take you so far, and then at a certain point, you have to go for quality.
That was hot.
Yeah.
And that's 13.3, and I'm pretty sure that this is 2 million.
Cool.
37,000. So this is gonna be 3 times as hot
As that last one or as the first one?
as the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're way past we're 35,200 above the first one.
Okay.
All right. I think this is the mustardy one.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, I love that. All right. In the fifth spot, we like to do a little segment called Explain That Gram, where we take a deep dive into our guest's Instagram and pull out pictures that may need a little bit more context.
Okay.
What's going on here?
Ooh. That is me searching for art in Atlanta, #FAFATL. Very cool thing that artists just, it's like this ongoing scavenger hunt, and they post a picture of a piece of art somewhere in the city. So this is in East Atlanta Village, and if you recognize where it is, then if you get there first, you get to keep the art. So our refrigerator is filled with this kind of art.
What's your favorite?
Ooh.
5 second, top of the head.
So I wrote a story about it for the AJC, and I interviewed a guy whose name is escaping me, but the handle has something to do with fish in it, I think. But he has a piece that's a star, and then it's like a picture of a girl, and then a panda head on top of it. And it's really cool. And then that was our Christmas tree star last year.
Oh, yeah, I do like that one.
Okay. Oh, this is me doing a reading from a Tom Robbins book, my favorite author. And it's at an event that Mike Jordan, a really awesome Atlanta writer, who used to be my nemesis when we worked for competing publications. And he has started this really cool event called Lit Atlanta, and you can go, it's basically like karaoke, but you, instead of singing, you're reading a chosen passage that matches the theme.
I went far back.
Yeah.
All these are way back.
Yeah.
As you can tell by the graininess.
Yes. That is, I don't know. I'm sure that's a beach trip. There's a random naked, it's not even a Barbie, it's a Bratz doll. So it was my niece's doll, and then I was apparently drinking a Rolling Rock and found it worthy of taking a photo and posting it for all to see. Yeah, that is me fondling a mannequin in New Orleans for Abby's bachelorette party a few years back. So yeah, a little New Orleans theme. Talked about the Sazerac. This photo. Oh my god!
It's so much worse than I remember.
So much worse. Wow. God bless our landlords. So this was our house we lived at before this one, and that was our yard. And our landlord finally told us we either had to mow it or we could put a sign that said something like wildflowers.
Yeah, we're growing wildflowers. This is your very first Instagram post.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what Instagram was, so that's what I decided.
I think it was probably taken like with our iPads too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's pretty apropos though. Just like staring at the internet.
Oh yeah. This is what we are doing now. Alright. Halfway there.
Cool. Feeling a false sense of security.
That is our sixth wing. Oh, I'm good. You now work for a podcast production company. Do you think that podcasts are here to stay, or are they a bridge medium to something else, kind of like the way long-form radio such as NPR paved the road for podcasts?
Interesting. That's good. Let me keep eating that
Yeah, that
one.
one's delicious. Yeah, pop that in there.
Oh, I guess that's a bad idea if I'm trying to talk. I think it's kind of similar. Okay, scratch that first part of the sentence. I think that long form radio is still very much a a thing for a big audience that would never maybe even listen to a podcast or won't for a while because it'll have to become much more like mainstream. So I don't think podcasts have replaced long form narrative radio stuff. So in that sense, what was the question? I feel like this is a scary question to answer for posterity because then if I'm wrong, then I'm full of myself. Oops. I think they're here to stay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. So, for instance, newspapers are basically one of the oldest forms of media, and in spite of how drastically our consumption habits have changed, we still read newspapers and print newspapers are likely not going to be here to stay, but the idea of them will basically be the same thing but on the internet I don't think that's going to go away. So same with radio. Radio had things that could replace it, but it hasn't. TV has had things that could replace it, and it hasn't. So I think podcasts will have staying power regardless of any of the, I think it has more staying power than some of those other things I just mentioned.
Okay. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna start getting into the ones that get really, really hot.
Okay. I like basil salads in my mouth. That's delicious.
Woo! We met 10 years ago today,
Woo!
tomorrow, tonight.
Uh-huh.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
At the infamous Florida Room in the basement of South Beach's Delano Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we would have met had you gone elsewhere that night?
Ooh. I don't know. It's a tricky one.
Okay. Well, to move a little bit deeper in this
Okay.
while you try and figure out that answer,
Mm-hmm.
how much credit do you give to free will? Or do you think the future is written and we are all just points along a straight line?
Oh my god. Oops.
I think it's some more of that one.
Mm-hmm. Are we points on a straight line? No. I think we have free will, and that it is not pre-written. Yeah, should I say why? It might be long-winded, but basically, yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Stargazer. Jumping up quite a bit. Looking pretty scary.
Yeah. I mean, it's a skeleton, like, surrendering.
It's got something happening there. So far we're doing really well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
These are like all like sauces that I'll just use normally.
Yeah.
That one's building up.
Yes, it is.
Growing up in Jacksonville and being a vegetarian since a very young age, what restaurant or specific Jacksonville dish do you miss the most now that you live in Atlanta and only eat plant-based foods?
So, okay, I'm gonna do one of the things that you're like, may I drink this? May I drink some milk?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So it
That one's
can
hot.
be,
It's like back of the mouth.
yeah.
I'll have the milk too.
So it can be a vegetarian meal. It can be any meal, or does it need to be vegan? I kind of blacked out during the question.
It can be any meal from Jacksonville
Okay.
that you miss now.
Okay. The first one that came to mind was polenta sticks from BB's, where I worked when I was in high school, and my sister works until she just had her most recent baby. And her fiance works, so anyways, there's always reason to go there still when we're in town. However, They apparently just took them off the menu, which is crazy. But they are basically like Jenga style things of polenta and then a side of blue cheese dressing. And it's just like heavenly and so good. But I've never like seen that anywhere else ever.
I should take a smaller bite. It's making my lower teeth numb.
Oh God. Have you guys looked into the legalities of this? Because I'm afraid that my singing voice might be scarred. That's a
You need to
dig
get your
at
head
Justin
stroked. You
Timberlake.
need to get your head checked, bro. Moving on.
Oh God, I'm scared now.
The Widowmaker.
That's a
6
funny.
times harder than that.
Wow. It's a funny one to do on our anniversary.
COVID cough.
Oh. Hot sauce off.
Small bites. I'm scared because that one seemed easier than the first one.
Then the first one?
Than the Stargazer.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like my pores are doing crazy things.
This is when the camera goes. You recently said
That's
you
intense.
had started to become ashamed of your happiness. So you enrolled in a happiness course offered online from Yale University. What is one of the things that you've learned thus far that you think everyone should hear?
Wow. That was intense. This is crazy. I feel like I'm starting to understand what the people are going through. I'm like, and you're like the guy, like you're fine. What the hell?
I'm hurting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I got a little sweat forming.
Holy shit. Oh my God. It was like, I was fine the whole time, and then
Here's a fresh napkin if you want to wipe your face.
oh my God,
Without-
like super dizzy. Here, I'll leave that one. I don't want to wipe it, I just like. Okay, what is something I learned from this course? You know what? The thing that I've learned is like has nothing to do with the things that the teacher is telling us. It's that like there's actually Yale students in there, and like so that it's like 2 weeks before they ask any questions, and they're all like pretty attractive looking and young and like looking very judgmentally almost at the teacher, and I was like, God, these must be super smart kids. And then they finally ask the questions, and some are very articulate, as you'd imagine, but then some are like struggling to articulate themselves, and they're like saying like every other word, and they're like obviously nervous, and I'm like, hell yeah, even Yale students can sound like dumb little college students. And
Yeah.
so that made me happy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's dark.
Yeah. I mean, just to throw out a stat, she said we take antidepressants 400 times more than we did, I want to say in like 1996. But then
Wow.
there's like a lot of factors that go into that, of course. One of which is interesting is just the fact that like even if you're self-reporting in a survey, you might be ashamed to say that you have depression and that you take antidepressants in 1996 more so than now. Now it's like the stigma is starting to be broken down a bit. Man, holy shit. That was crazy.
Well, here we are.
I feel like that must be what taking like a whippet, or the guys who hide outside of the Fox with the gas tanks and you buy a balloon and you do it. Like, I think that's what that was. It really was like a
We've made it to the last dab. You know what that means. Tradition on the Hot Ones show to put one little extra dab, even though this stuff is like the thickest one and it super coats the sauce. Or the vegan wing.
Do you want to do my dad?
I think that you should do it. Unless, you know, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. That's probably good.
What? That's not
It's
the
a dab! I regret mine.
I mean,
We're more than, okay, I love it.
good. You're not gonna. At least I know I've done better than Pete Davidson because he was forbidden from doing a NOS dab. So I'm better than Pete Davidson.
Hey. Good luck. Good news up is all I have here is fun question with multiple points. So I forgot to make the question. So you made it. 10 vegan wings up, 10 vegan wings down, all the way through all the sauces with the last dab. This camera, that same camera, this one camera that we have on my old phone. Tell the people what you got going on in your life.
Oh my god. Well, I have the coolest husband ever, and I am currently, as we all are, trying to well, I guess not as we all are, but as I am, trying to use this whole crazy time that we're in to do some self-improvement and whatnot. And so I think that what you can look out for in the near future is something that I am going to publish somewhere on a yet to be determined topic as I get my shit together. Is that big enough for you? Woo!
This is how we feel.
Yeah, it's accurate. Oh my god. Wow. Wait, you're doing it.
You're doing it.
I don't know how. I don't get it.
We don't know what we're doing. Alright. Smells good, that burnt apple sugar. Happy anniversary.
anniversary.
Slancha.
May our love life be as spicy as the wings we just ate. What's wrong with us?
Okay. Well, we did that.
And as sweet as